This man undergoes such dangerous wrestling training that no one can even move a hand to defeat him. But will he be able to compete with the most dangerous players in the world? To find out, watch today's story. The story begins with a man named Mark who used to wrestle in Korea. However, he now works as a guard in an American club. One day, his old friend Kim came to meet him and started convincing him to participate in a wrestling competition. Mark was not interested, but Kim somehow convinced him. They then went to a place where people were betting on the players. The player who was supposed to compete with Mark had won all the matches so far, so no one was willing to bet on Mark. The match started soon, and despite a lot of struggle, that player couldn't even move Mark's hand. Mark won the match effortlessly, and Kim also earned a lot of money. However, the defeated player refused to give up. He started attacking Kim, which led to a riot involving Mark as well. Due to the fight, Mark lost his job. A week later, he found a job as a security guard in a shop. His ordinary life continued, but he often missed home. Then one day, Kim called him and asked him to come to Korea. There was a wrestling competition going on there, and the winner would get a chance to play abroad. Mark saw his old medals and decided to fulfill his old dream. When Mark reached Korea, Kim came to pick him up and they discussed work while eating. Kim wanted to become Mark's agent and take care of his business. He had full faith in Mark. His plan was to make Mark a player, invest money in him, and become rich. After that, they spent the whole day exploring the city. At night, they went to a club, but Mark stood there as a guard. On their way back to the hotel, Kim asked Mark if he had ever tried to find his real mother. In fact, his mother had left Mark in an orphanage when he was a child. Mark replied, "Look, I have no interest in meeting the people who left me." After that, Kim left Mark at the hotel. There, Mark encountered a bouncy bed for the first time in his life. In the room, he found a gift from Kim, a box containing a phone with his real mother's address. Through Kim, Mark met a wealthy gangster named Yo and asked him to invest money in him. Initially, Mark was held upside down without permission to talk to you. However, when you saw Mark's video, he agreed to invest in him, albeit with a condition that Mark would have to win or lose according to Yo's orders. The next morning, Mark followed the address from the phone's map. Before knocking on the door, he encountered two children who, upon seeing his muscular physique, mistook him for a demon. The children were unafraid of him, so he left without saying anything. They later informed their mother, Sumi, about the strange man they had seen. They saw Mark walking back through the window. Sumi ran a clothing shop that was running at a loss and owed a lot of money to gangster Yo, who troubled her repeatedly. One day, Sumi saw Mark and Yo going to the club together. In reality, Kim had brought Mark to meet Yo. We also come across Chang, a spoiled son of a wealthy father, and his companion who invested the most money in gambling. Mark then defeated a tough opponent, showcasing his skills. As a result, Mark and Kim were provided with a luxurious room in a 5-star hotel. Kim received a message from Yo stating that Mark would have to win the first match tomorrow, but lose the second match. Kim was now worried that Mark might not agree to this. During breakfast, Kim told Mark to lose the second match. Mark agreed without any problems. The next morning, Sumi was getting her children ready for school. Her son was afraid that the demon would return. However, Sumi mentioned that she might know Mark. When the children left, she looked at old pictures and discovered a picture of Mark with his mother. The children spotted Mark outside, and Yo threatened to call the police, saying, "I will call the police and then they will break your bones." Yo then called Combo, the strongest 5-man player in Korea, to test Mark's abilities. A crowd gathered and Mark easily defeated a 7-foot-tall wrestler in the first match. This greatly affected Combo. Sumi also came to see Mark there. During the break, Yo pressured Mark because Sumi had not returned his money. Mark witnessed this and deliberately won the second match to defy Yo. When Yo started to cool down, Mark pushed him. Kim, in an attempt to calm both Mark and Yo, was beaten by Yo. Suddenly, Mark intervened, and Yo was left alone facing the bullies. Eventually, the police arrived and arrested Mark and Kim. To release Mark, they needed his ID, but his bag and passport were lost during the last match. Mark fought with the police, proving that he was indeed a wrestler. However, they still didn't let him go. At that moment, Sumi arrived with Mark's passport. It was revealed that Sumi was Mark's stepsister and his mother had passed away a year ago. Mark was heartbroken to hear this. The children also asked him to come home. Uncle, come home with us." Sumi's daughter June played with him, and her son Jun Huang talked to him a lot. Some homeless boys were smoking outside the house. Even after Sumi's refusal, they did not leave, but as soon as Mark appeared in front of them, everyone ran away. The next day, Yasmin came to collect money from Sumi. At that time, Mark was leaving the house so that he would not be a burden on Sumi. He also chased away the goons, but then he decided to stay there. For the next few days, the whole family ate good food, went out, and enjoyed. It was very difficult for Sumi to take care of the children while working. Her entire house was filled with clothes. One day, she came home and saw that everything was clean. On top of that, Mark also took good care of the children. On the other hand, Kim was struggling with poverty. Seeing Mark with the children, he got the idea of showing Mark's sad story and earning some money. Mark also agreed to it. After that, Mark went out with his family. On the way, he saw Combo playing. Mark challenged him and won, becoming everyone's favorite. A few weeks later, the story of his sad childhood and difficulties spread throughout the country. It became so famous that Mark and Kim earned a lot of money. Now the children started considering Mark their hero. One day while going to school, he heard a woman bad-mouthing Mark. In return, Juhai said, "My uncle is a very good player. Shut up, old woman, or I'll make your hair bald." Mark promised him that he would win the biggest competition in the country. Then we see Kim's father, who worked hard despite being old. Kim wanted to earn so much money so that he could give his father a good life. One day, Mark was shown those emails by Jun Huang that Mark's mother wrote every day. Actually, she was very sorry that she sent her son Mark to an orphanage. She kept writing poor emails all her life, but she didn't know Mark. She wrote that when Mark was with them, life was very difficult. They didn't even have money to feed Mark. And she wanted her son to live a good life, so she kept a stone on her heart and sent him to an orphanage. Even before dying, her last wish was to meet Mark and apologize to him. Mark also found out that Sumi is not his stepsister. When Sumi's parents died, Mark's mother took care of him. Mark was stunned to hear this news, and he was angry with Sumi. A few days later, they were all going to his mother's grave. On the way, Mark said a lot of bad things to Sumi to lie. He had now decided to go back to America. Then Kim tried to stop him because the competition was going to start in a week. But Mark also told him in anger, "Hey, you just shut up. You just want to earn money by using my talent." On the other hand, Combo was preparing for the competition with loud noise. Gangster, you also prepared a game called Kane. Kane has broken the bones of all the people he has fought so far. Mark was also not leaving any shortcomings in his preparation before the tournament. Finally, the day of the competition came. The children were at home when they saw that they forgot to return Mark his medal. They both immediately took the bus and reached the place of the competition. After a while, Sumi got this news, so she also ran to the children. After that, the competition started. Kane, Mark, and Combo were in 3 different groups. They defeated everyone in their group and reached the semi-final. Kane broke many hands mercilessly and reached the final. Millionaire Chang and his men put all their money on Kane. But seeing Mark's talent, they felt that their money might get drowned. So Chang threatened you and said that he should somehow win Kane. Then you gave Kim $2 Lake and said that Mark will have to lose to Combo in the semifinals. As usual, Kim's tongue was stinging, so he took the money and went straight to Mark. But Mark refused to lose. Kim said that his whole life can be changed with this money. But Mark's promise to his niece was much bigger. Finally, he fought Combo and won. At the break, you grabbed Kim and broke his bones a little. But Mark beat those goons one by one. Now Kim also stopped being greedy for money and gave Mark the courage to win. No, take more money. Now the last match began, which everyone was suffocating to watch. Then Kane cheated, which slipped Mark's hand. He tried to pull Mark's thumb very hard and hurt him. Now Kane was about to win at any moment when Mark's eyes fell on his nephew and niece, who were looking at it with hopeful eyes. Suddenly, the children's uncle was filled with new enthusiasm, and he defeated Kane in one blow. Finally, Mark said on TV that he loves his mother very much. His victory brought tears to the eyes of everyone present there. So if you get a chance, which game would you like to be a star? Do tell us in the comments. See you in the next video.